Every country on earth at the moment is reforming public education. There are two reasons for it. The first of them is economic. People are trying to work out, how do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that? Given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week, as the recent turmoil is demonstrating. How do we do that? The second, though, is cultural. Every country on earth is trying to figure out, how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities while being part of the process of globalization. How do we square that circle? The problem is they're trying to meet the future by doing what they did in the past. And on the way, they're alienating millions of kids who don't see any purpose in going to school. When we went to school, we were kept there with a story, which was if you worked hard and did well and got a college degree, you would have a job. Our kids don't believe that. And they're right not to, by the way. You're better having a degree than not, but it's not a guarantee anymore. And particularly not if the route to it marginalizes most of the things that you think are important about yourself.
For our program in particular, I think the surface issues are, people think if you just throw information at them, doesn't matter what type, they're going to bite on it. You know, you're going to reel somebody in, you're going to get some involvement. So as long as we send out a mass email, as long as we get, you know, everybody at least a glimpse at it, then they're going to be...
They're going to get that information.
But I think it kind of goes back to that TED Talk that we looked at, and it was more of...
The golden circle.
Yeah, it was that, right. It's not what you have, what you're offering, it's why you're offering it. And social media and videos and...
You have a better opportunity to present yourself and offer that why.
And putting a story behind it.
Yes. And it'll stick with people better rather than with what they're reading. They can see stuff, they can see the change that you do instead of just like reading a flyer that say, oh, come here. You can show them in a video better and grab people's attention. That'll stick in their memories more than just like something they read on a flyer.
Advertising is inefficient. It's not 21st century anymore.
It's not the same as having a video in front of you. Not as attention getting. It's not effective.
Well, we're all walking around with our face on our iPhones, so we're not really paying attention to what's actually surrounding us. How we were saying maybe the root problem starts in high school. Because if this is going to be viral and online, where everyone can access it, say like, I'm in high school and I'm doing my research on USF and I just type into Google and I find, you know, whatever team or activity or organization, and I can learn more about it before I get there and get interested before I get there. Maybe it'll make me more likely to be involved once I arrive.
No, first order is
something on the campus. So, okay, people in this organization aren't meeting a deadline. So we move the deadline early. Second order would be motivating them, changing the culture of the organization. Yeah. It's fixing the why instead of fixing the what. So not only will we be helping the people who need to help or need to find organizations or to get involved or increase their level of school pride, just their level of involvement in general with USF, we'd also be helping the mass comm majors, marketing, business, possibly engineering. I mean, it's kind of endless for those people in the production majors. I mean, they all can kind of come in and
collaborate.
Collaborate and, get that real world experience and also help kids at USF at the same time.
I can bring lifelong active members, not just like semester active or year active. Like you can start them off before they even get there, and then make it something that you're always going to be a part of, because you see that and you're like, oh, I want to be in that video one day and I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, it goes beyond that too. You could have alumni or former members of organizations who have graduated who still are in the group on Facebook. They come back, check out the video, and they comment on it. And then it's just, like you said, it's viral.
How did you find out about the skydiving club?
I found out through my friend, actually.
Okay. So you never got any flyers, you never got a series of emails, like your friend just told you about it?
Yeah, notable.
Notable also. So would you agree that most orgs that you're involved in, you got involved in them through your friends?
The only one.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, the only one that didn't was National Collegiate Honor Society because they send you like this big fancy invitation in the mail.
That most of the orgs that I'm involved in, either word of mouth or I was passionate about,
yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
lacrosse. I wanted to play lacrosse.
Exactly. So
in
you,
college.
you
So I
seek
sought
for it.
out, you know, hey, does our school have a team?
I think video can be such an emotional medium as well as it can make an
Yeah, it's
argument,
good.
but it also can give that
Probably.
so that I think students sort of long to express.
That that flyer you lose or gets ripped up,
Yeah.
The video
It doesn't
sticks
seem
to
personal enough.
Right.
Even better, you know, if you're on Facebook, which pretty much everyone is these days, you're looking through things and always on like one side of the page it'll pop up with groups that your friends are interested in.
Right,
like
right.
This, so
Yeah.
maybe I should like it. Well, what if student boards started popping up, you know, more often with, you know, just really pointed mission statements or messages or, you know, things that you would be involved in because your friends are involved in, you know,
Yeah.
those start popping up on Facebook and you start
Right.
liking them and who knows, you click on their page and they have this video and, you know, it's more attractive to you, it's more personal than a flyer. And
Yeah, we spend so much time with like technology, like everything's just, everything's getting thrown into your face, and that's where student organizations need to go more towards. It's not about just handing out like stuff like that
Flyers,
anymore,
yeah.
or even like throwing it into a giant like online email flyer, like the
Right.
Notable. Just you have to sit there and read through every single like little
no one
like,
wants to do
detail.
that.
Notable really takes a long time to read. I mean, there's a lot of
It
good
does.
stuff in there,
It
but,
but it's a chore. It's a chore to look
it
through.
really is. It's like how the real world works. Like you don't go outside and you're walking around Walmart. People aren't throwing you flyers. Like they're not showing you like, oh hey, here's a shampoo bottle. Like hey, read about it. Like no,
Yeah.
you see commercials. Like
you see commercials,
you-
even on YouTube now. So let's say you don't even have cable because, you know, you're a poor college student. You're watching YouTube on the internet. Before, you know, a real popular YouTube commercial, or YouTube video, there's a commercial. Sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes you can skip it or whatever. But if it attracts you, you're going to watch that commercial, you know. And whether it be on TV, social media, YouTube, I mean anything, we got to get in touch with the times. We got to reinvent the way we get at students. And I think this project is, you know, we can lay the foundation with it and, you know, hopefully start something big.
those people that are involved in that help start off their skills like slow. Like you're only working with organizations, so like you can learn and build off without like that huge pressure and like it's smaller than an internship, but still bigger than just like learning about stuff in class. It's applying it and seeing like what you truly like with it, and it's working.
A stepping stone.
Yeah, it allows you to be more creative outside the box and within like the rules of a classroom and confinement. See what you really like.
Yeah, college provides so many different avenues, so many different majors, so many different organizations, and to bring together how many minds we have, how many creative minds we have at USF, to be a part of an organization like this could be really beneficial for some people who are just kind of on the edge of, should I join this? Should I start this career? Should I?
Right.
It may tip them over if they love, promoting organizations, or they love, helping someone out with recruitment or something like that. It could really help them find their own passion. And then once they find their passion through promoting organizations, that means they're helping everybody else around them find their own passion. So it's kind of a neat win-win kind of situation for the people who are putting in the work, and also the people who are trying to reap the benefits of the agency or organization that's created.
It builds an overall stronger community with your entire classmates. It's not just like a community that's just within your group. Like, yeah, you have that community that's just like your lacrosse team or something, but now you're starting to build a relationship with a community that's like with like a whole different set of people, but it's still your USF students, and maybe you can build stronger bonds and more pride, like, because you have that connection now. It's not just something you go and they just put it in. It's not just something for now. Now you're building relationships with outside networks as well.
How important do you think it is for students to find their passion, to find that career that when they wake up in the morning, they're happy to go to class. When they have a degree and they wake up in the morning, they're happy to go to work. How important is that?
That's what we're all here for. I mean, I'm pre-med myself, and starting off, the entry-level science courses weren't the best. They're kind of busy work and this and that, but I found it. I know I found it. My upper-level science courses are really interesting, and the more I shadow physicians, the more I volunteer, it clicks. You know, there's a reason why. I mean, maybe not a reason, but I feel compelled to work towards that goal of helping people, and that's my personal kind of driving force. I think it's pivotal for everyone to find that.
Yeah,
that's what we're all here for.
Yeah, the passion's gonna drive you through the stuff that's difficult, the stuff that like, hey, you might not be doing it at, but you have an overall goal that's really strong, that's really something that you want to do. So it doesn't matter that it's hard, doesn't matter that things you might not be getting, you're gonna push through it because you have something that you really truly love.